Today is Friday, July 13th, and today we're going to be hiking Pyramid Peak, which is behind me there. For a full hike review of Pyramid Peak, you can check the link below. After a short hike from Maroon Lake, this is going to be your turnoff. You'll see this big cairn pile of rocks right here, and this indicates the start of the Pyramid Peak Trail, which goes up that way. To put this in perspective, this is about 1.2 miles from Maroon Lake. So look for this, and this is your first turn going up to Pyramid Peak. Good morning from Pyramid Peak. So the summit is right up there. We are slowly working our way up this terrible gully here. The trail essentially from Crater Lake is like through the spine right there. The trail has so far kind of worked up through this rock mess. There is a trail to follow, but it's pretty hard to find. We ended up coming up a little bit high over there. I guess the trail goes that way more. It's very steep, loose dirt, loose rock. So from here, you can see we're going to go up to the ridge, and then the real fun begins once we're on the ridge. I think things solidify a bit and get to do some fun climbing. But yeah, so once we're on the ridge, we basically stay on the back side of the ridge, and then the summit is right there. On the ridge now, so you can look down. There's a ton of different routes to take in this, but just use your best judgment, whatever looks best for you. We ended up, I think, coming a little bit right of where the route breaks. Takes you to the ridge, but we made it here in any case. There's a cairn right there, and then we're going to stay on the left side to work across these ledges, and then eventually up to the green rock, which leads you right to the summit, which is right there. Continuing on the ridge here, you can see this kind of green rock. That's your end goal. So just kind of skirt along these little shelves here. So once you get to the green rock, that's going to be your next turn to go up the mountain, and obviously that's your goal. The quick note about the rock in here, it is loose, but so far it's been semi-solid for the most part. The trail conditions have been much better than coming up the other side, but still just be careful, test everything, kind of push it instead of pulling it, but it is what it is. All right, Nick will demonstrate the leap of death. Really scary. Here's the entrance to the green rock, as it's called. It's class 3-4. It's basically pick your route. It looks pretty solid. I'll give you an update once I'm kind of in the middle of it. But yeah, you're gonna ride this out for most of the way up to the summit. Right before the summit, I think you can bang a left and then ride the rest of the ridge out. But this is basically home stretch here, and then we can look back on the quote-unquote cliff traverse, which really is like just walking with a couple of exposed areas, but nothing that you have to really like put into like your game plan if you're afraid of exposure. Working our way up the green rock here. Decent exposure, nothing crazy. Handhold so far, or sorry, the hold so far, pretty good. A little bit of loose stuff, but nothing that you wouldn't expect. I think he's gonna join our hiking party. Or poop on us, we're not sure yet. He's just content though, having his breakfast. Nick's climbing right by him. Not a care in the world. Mom went off that way. Not really sure where. Pretty cool. I've seen these on Mount Evans before because they just live there and eat all the food from the humans and pee. But this guy is pretty much in his element. You can see that he still has his a little bit of his winter coat left, which is crazy. We've been seeing it all along the trail. But he's just eating breakfast, wants us to leave him alone, so that's what we're gonna do. I think this goat thinks we're stalking them, but we're really just going to the top. So you're gonna round this corner here, and you can see the cairn maybe above the goat, and then the summit is like right there. So you're just gonna slowly work your way up, and then yeah, reach the final. I believe there's a little class 4 right before the top, but it's right there. All right, summit of Pyramid Peak. We have not lost our friends here. Give you a quick whirl around with the views. So last week, obviously, we did the traverse. You can see the Bel Color there. It's that one line of snow in between Maroon and North. Pretty clear day, which is awesome. We weren't sure what the weather was going to look like today. and then you can look back down to the ridge over there. So a couple of notes about this one. A lot of route finding. There is a trail, but really once you hit that green rock, it's mostly just kind of picking your best bet. The other thing is, if you're doing this in the spring or the winter, those ledges that we crossed over could be kind of precarious, because if there's leftover snow, there isn't really a lot of room for navigating around them. So like in the summer it's fine, they're really not bad, but in the spring or winter, definitely have some technical gear or crampons or something to skirt around them just in case. So early summer season hiking, I guess. To be honest with you, this is a class 4 hike. You could bring a dog on it though. I mean, I don't know if I'd bring mine, but it's not like super gnarly class 4. There's a lot of workarounds for the class 4 section, so you know, I wouldn't say it's off limits. Just use caution, have a dog with mountain experience. As far as like difficulty, it was pretty like a long slog getting to the ridge. Once the ridge, it was pretty fun, but still basically just straight up. So save some energy once you get on the ridge, because you're definitely not out of the woods yet. And then also obviously for the descent, which we haven't done, so that should be fun. Give you some more whirl around here, and let you enjoy the views. So the one part that I didn't show you this morning because the sun wasn't up was the very beginning, which was basically just working up from Crater Lake or Maroon Lake. It's more or less just steep dirt and rock. It's not very eventful, so I don't feel like I need to show you it. But just take your time on that, because once basically from the trail split at Crater Lake to here, it's just a long uphill slog. You can see obviously Snowmass, Capitol, and then I think we've ID'd Castle and Conundrum over here as well. Okay, on our way down, equally slow going here. The rock's a lot easier to ascend than descend, and be careful if you're with groups around other people just kicking rocks. Obviously I always, you know, give people a heads up rock or whatever if you kick something down. End game is to get to this green rock again, so don't go too far over that way. There's a ton of like nature or game and human trails up here, so just try to keep left if you can. Down climbing is the name of the game here. Sticking on the green rock. You can see the cairn and crossover right over there, so slowly making progress. Back down at Crater Lake now, so wrapping up Pyramid Peak. It's gonna be about 10 miles round trip. Definitely lots of loose rock along the way, so if you are gonna bring a dog, which I still don't know if I recommend fully or not, just be aware of other people. Lots of mountain goats, so don't feed them. That shouldn't have to be said, but I'll say it anyway. Look out for them too. Sometimes they'll kick rocks from above as a defense mechanism or just by accident. Be sure to just look out for that. Otherwise, Pyramid Peak was pretty fun. It wasn't as hard as I thought. It was some minor class 4, but it was really nothing like super intense. Nothing compared to Maroon Bell's Traverse. However, for those of you who are looking to do it in the same weekend, that's a tough day. Like, both hikes are very tough. just kind of keep that in mind when you're planning your trip. For a full hike review of Pyramid Peak, you can check the link below. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe not to miss any